Few managers in football history have ever controlled the spotlight quite like José Mourinho. He's been called arrogant, brilliant, ruthless, and hilarious. This is the story of the special one, from Porto to Rome, from genius to chaos, told through his most iconic and controversial moments. In his own words. Welcome to another video of Football Cosmos. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for weekly videos where we bring you the side of football you won't see on the highlights. It all began in Portugal. In 2004, a young, sharp-suited Mourinho stormed onto the European stage with FC Porto. Against all odds, he led them to Champions League glory. After beating Manchester United at Old Trafford, he ran down the touchline, fists pumping, a moment that announced him to the world. In the post-match interview, his confidence was already unmistakable. "I have top players and I'm sorry we have a top team. We are ready for anything." Porto lifted the Champions League, and Mourinho's phone didn't stop ringing. In 2004, Mourinho arrived in London to manage Chelsea and instantly set the tone in his very first press conference.
Arrogant because what I'm saying is true. I'm European champion, so I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
The press laughed. The players listened. The Premier League would never be the same again. He built a machine, Terry, Lampard, Drogba, turning Chelsea into champions, but his sharp tongue was as dangerous as his tactics. "If I wanted to have an easy job, I would have stayed at Porto. Beautiful blue chair, Champions League trophy, God, and after God, me." Mourinho's press conferences became must-see TV. He invented phrases, shaped headlines, and changed football language forever.
And with 10 players, they left the foul alone in front. They didn't play football, they just defend. And as we say now in my country, they brought the bus and they left the bus in front of the goal because everybody was there.
And with that, parking the bus became part of football vocabulary. When Arsenal's Arsene Wenger questioned his methods, Jose fired back.
So he is a specialist in failure. I'm not. So if supposedly he is right and I am afraid of fail, it's because I don't fail many times.
Mourinho also made it very clear that he isn't the kind of coach that feels pressure.
Sound as though you're feeling the pressure.
I'm not feeling the pressure, no. You cannot put pressure on me, no chance. No chance. I read a lot of times during this week that I have to prove a lot in English football. Sir Alex is the only one European champion in this country. Nobody else. So I have to prove what? Pressure? Pressure of what?
Of having lost 2 games.
Pressure is millions of people in the world, parents, no money to buy food for their children. That's pressure, not in football.
He accused referees of bias, called out rival coaches, and defended his players with the loyalty of a general. After leaving Chelsea, Mourinho took his talents to Italy, to Inter Milan, and found a new stage for his mind games. When Claudio Ranieri criticized his behavior, the special one responded with one of his sharpest jabs yet. "I studied Italian 5 hours a day for many months to ensure I could communicate with the players, media and fans." Ranieri had been in England for 5 years and still struggled to say good morning and good afternoon. Who is he to tell me what to do? It was pure Mourinho, cutting, funny and calculated. Behind the words was brilliance. He built a fortress, turning Inter into a European powerhouse. In 2010, he led them to a historic treble. After beating Barcelona in the Champions League semi-final, he ran across the Camp Nou pitch, finger raised to the sky, pure theatre. Provocation at its finest led him to being attacked by Barcelona players, but obviously Mourinho couldn't care less. During this match, Inter received a red card and things weren't looking great for Mourinho, so the psychological games came into play again. During a tactical chat between Zlatan and Guardiola, Mourinho whispered in Guardiola's ear, "Don't celebrate prematurely, this game is not over." Then came Real Madrid, and the rivalry continued and defined an era. Mourinho versus Guardiola, Madrid versus Barcelona. During one Clásico, he poked Barcelona assistant Tito Vilanova in the eye, a moment that stunned the world. But amid the chaos, he broke Barcelona's dominance and won La Liga with a record 100 points. Mourinho continued to deliver moments of chaos and classic quotes, such as when he was asked what God might think of him, Mourinho smiled and said, "He must think I'm a great guy, because otherwise he would not have given me so much. He must have a very high opinion of me." It was Mourinho at his peak, a man who truly believed destiny and ego walked side by side. In 2013, Mourinho returned to Chelsea in style. After a defeat to Aston Villa, he dropped one of the most legendary lines in football history.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
A meme was born later when asked about the title race. He reacted iconic as ever.
20 games.
2 horses and a little horse.
Your little horse?
A little horse that still needs milk and work and learn how to jump, and 2 big horses and a nice horse. A horse that next season.
In that season, Kevin De Bruyne was a part of Chelsea's team, but Mourinho wasn't able to get the best out of him and said the following: "With De Bruyne, if you have a player knocking on your door and crying every day he wants to leave, you have to make a decision." At that time, Chelsea did well. It was like a wall, a block. He was not ready to compete. He was an upset kid, training very bad. He won the league again in 2015, but soon the harmony was gone. "I feel betrayed, the players have betrayed my work." In 2016, Mourinho took charge at Manchester United. After a 3-0 defeat, Mourinho couldn't hold back at the press conference and demand respect.
"And I won more premierships alone than the other 19 managers together. 3 for me and 2 for them. Respect, man, respect.
Later that year, when Crystal Palace manager Frank de Boer criticized Mourinho's development of Marcus Rashford, he responded brutally.
Worst manager in the history of the Premier League, Frank de Boer. 7 matches, 7 defeats, 0 goals. If he was coached by Frank, he would learn how to lose.
Later, to defend his record at Manchester United by arguing that he inherited a team with a poor recent European performance history and a weaker squad compared to rivals like Manchester City, he went on an 8-minute rant about football heritage.
So in 7 years, with 4 different managers, once not qualified for Europe, twice out in the group phase, and the best was a quarterfinal. This is football heritage.
Luckily enough, Mourinho didn't leave the Premier League after being sacked by United. He then moved to Tottenham. His time at Tottenham was documented by Amazon Prime, and once again he delivered some classic content.
I understood already that you are a fucking lazy guy in training. I don't need more walking in the city like. See or no?
Until now? Right.
Now show the pictures.
4 years ago when you were at Chelsea, you were asked if you would ever come to Spurs and you said, "Never, I love the Chelsea fans too much." What's changed?
I was sacked.
Mourinho was sacked as manager of Tottenham less than a week before he was due to lead them out for the Carabao Cup final. He later said, "I hope the Tottenham fans don't get me wrong, but the only club in my career where I don't still have a deep feeling for is Tottenham." In 2021, Mourinho took charge of AS Roma, and even in his 60s, the fire was still burning. He guided them to their first European trophy in over 60 years, the Europa Conference League, and reminded everyone who he was. I'm the only manager to win the Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League. Maybe that means I'm getting old or just good at finals. When José Mourinho arrived in Istanbul in the summer of 2024, the expectations were massive. A club desperate to end a 10-year title drought, an impatient fan base, and a coach with a legacy of trophies in every major league. But from the start, it was never going to be simple. Rivalries, referees, dramatic games, and of course Mourinho being Mourinho. He started off in proper Mourinho style by saying this in his first press conference.
I didn't watch Fenerbahce matches until I come because nobody abroad wants to watch the Turkish league. Who wants to watch this Turkish league abroad?
Iconic moments guaranteed, such as his failed knee slide and of course his quotes during press conferences. He was asked why his starting 11 changed so often. His answer: I have 25 coins. I throw the coins in the air. The ones that stay on the table are the players that play. The others go to the bench. It's simple. Eventually, after a season without big trophies, Fenerbahce parted ways with Mourinho. Another huge sacking fee was added to the long list after 25 years abroad that brought Champions Leagues, derbies, controversies, and brilliant highs. José Mourinho has come full circle. The special one is back in Portugal, and he's not returning as the same man. He's returning hungrier, more aware, and ready to lift Benfica again. A 2-year deal, a break clause, and a promise he will live for Benfica, live for his mission. He started off well by being in the way of Porto, their biggest rival. Porto won 9 games in a row and needed one more win to set a new club record, but Benfica kept them at 0-0 draw. Classic Mourinho. What was your favorite Mourinho moment? His run to the 4th official, his never boring press conferences, or his run in the Camp Nou? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. We'll see you in the next video.